Hey guys, welcome back to another Betty Boop polygel set. So this is a Betty Boop Halloween set. Any chance I get to use Betty Boop, I'm definitely taking it. I love Betty Boop. Now, although this video is super late, Halloween is over and done with, I still did really enjoy this set, and so I did want to get this video put out there for you guys. Again, I love Betty Boop, and any chance I get to use her, I don't care what the holiday is, I'm using her. Okay, so getting into the set, we're going to start out with the nail bed color, which is just the color Rustic from iGel Beauty. I personally start all of my sets from the cuticle area and work down. That just seems to work best for me. Even when I do like ombres and stuff, I just like to get the cuticle area out of the way first. I feel like that for me, it takes the longest. So starting out with my little cuticle area, forms have already been applied. Prep have been done and the peel off base coat is already on. But all right, just taking this nude with the size 14 brush, and I'm just going to work it back towards my cuticle with my brush at a angle, kind of like tilt it down because I want to get the poly gel as thin as I can get it and as close as I can get it to the cuticle area without touching it or going under or on the skin. So here I'm just cleaning up my little sides, making sure I like how everything looks. And then we will start going into the shape. For me, I don't usually have much of an idea or style in mind when I work on that cuticle area or that nail bed style. I just kind of go with the flow, and pushing it down to the side and pushing it over a little bit just seems to work out best. Now all the nails for the most part are the same, so we're just going to go ahead and record this one finger. I can't remember what the name of this color was, but it is from To Be Glam and it is a neon green. I think it might have been like a radiant green or something like that. I can't see it from here. But it's a neon green clearly. I just took and squeezed a nice little bead of that out and then start working that back, making sure it is connected to the previous color poly gel. And so bringing it, making sure everything connected, start bringing it down, pushing it over to the side. I personally like to do color blocking because it don't have to be perfect. Just put that poly gel on there, move it somewhere, and then go on with the flow. And that's why I tend to do a lot of color blocking because I don't have to put a lot of thought into it. All right, this here is from Miss Cherry. Now, this is one of the chunky glitter. You know what, guys? I just realized that I say the instead of the. But anyway, so this that just threw me all off. I'm sorry, guys, but this Miss Cherry one is a chunky glitter poly gel, not like the shimmer ones that I love. I do like this kit. It's just that I'm not the biggest fan of chunky glitter when it comes down to me doing color blocking because the chunks do tend to poke out, and then once I get the filing, chunks do file away. But I did like this green. Now, the when I started this glitter green was supposed to be like a main color, but because of the little chunks and flakes, it just became like a little accent color pretty much. And so I did go in with this more than white. It looked a little pinkish from the bottle, but it is white. I went with this just around the chunky glitter. Again, because once you file, or even when I do the color blocking, those little pieces of glitter do stick out. No matter how much I like try to file it either pieces are stuck out or it leave holes. So I wanted to take the white and just kind of go around that glitter part just to make sure everything stayed in place and I wasn't left with holes around the glitter. So I just squeezed out a tiny little bit. Now, what I will say about More Than White, it is soft, it is loose, it is runny. It is not my go-to when it comes down to white poly gels, but this was like the closest one I had at that time. All right, so we're going to go in with this Model 1's poly gel, and it was the number 192. I believe they have one shade of green that's darker than this, and it was 192, I believe. I do know I have a 192. I believe it was darker than this one, though. It may be a shade lighter, but either or, these was like the two dark, well, this was like the darkest green that I had. And so I went with that. I just wanted to stick with the greens because I knew I wanted to do the little Betty Boop set. Now for Model 1, I do recommend you guys get a Model 1 kit because model one is, when you hear the word polygel, model one should come to mind because it's not very runny, it's not very sticky, but it's also not the firmest and it's also not the least stickiest. And so if you want to compare polygels or see which ones work best for you, I definitely think a model one should be in your collection. Plus, as of now, they have a great color option. All right, so every color that I do, I am giving that a quick cure, anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds, depending on what I'm doing in between that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this side of the nail with the green. Here, I noticed a air bubble, and so I was trying to open that air bubble up, and then I like to push the poly gel from the underside. That way I can push all of the air to the surface, and then I'll go ahead and start working the poly gel into whatever shape or style or wherever I was going with it. So pretty much I pop the air bubbles, open the hole up, and then push the poly gel. Push the poly gel from the underside so I can push all of the air up to the surface. Then go ahead and continue on to connect all of the polygels, making sure everything connected. And usually when I get to the sides at this point, I try to get my shape in there and then finish off with the squaring of the tip. Gave that one its cure. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish that other side up with the glitter green. Again, I think this green, at least from this glitter one, was very, very pretty. And I did want this one to be the focal point. But because it was a glitter, I already knew it was going to give me some problems. So I did want to get a little bit more of that glitter in there. Now, for these Miss Cheering kits, they are very sticky. I will say that. Not the worst when it comes to the stickiness, but they are very sticky. But the glitters are very nice, the shimmers and the glitters, because I have had a few kits where the glitter, after it's been sitting in the tube for a while, the glitter tend to sink down to the bottom, and then you're just kind of left with clear polygel. So those ones are really good when it comes to glitter. All right, at this point, we're just going to go ahead and remove that foam. And as expected, it is not cured on the underside. Now, what I will say, I was a little shocked that the rustic nude was not cured, because usually the nude colors cure with no problem. But the nude was uncured on the underside. So I'm just take my brush and a little alcohol and kind of clean everything up. I did wind up taking them all off and curing them all. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some clean alcohol and wipe the nails down. Now, being that I use forms, I have to be sure to wipe the surface of the nail and the underside. So if you guys use forms or if you use dual forms, be sure to wipe the surface of the nail and the underside because the whole nail will be sticky. And once you get the filing and stuff, that does do stick. So give it a good wipe down. Here's how they looked after the application. Now they were pretty thick. I did have to do quite a bit of filing, but it wasn't that bad because the dark green and the neon green, they filed on the softer side, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of work. They did require a lot of filing, but not a lot. So I did go in with the 2-time coarse orange bit, which is a long burl bit. I get them from AliExpress, but they are also sold at this point anywhere you can buy bits from. They sell long burl bits. I just take these and remove the thickness and the bulkiness. Here I wanted to show you because I tend to file forwards and I tend to file backwards. What I do is, what I was just showing you guys, I try not to go past that point when I file backwards because you absolutely will cut your fingers, you will cut your cuticles filing backwards like this. So I like to give myself a guideline for where not to go past when filing backwards like this. Do the same thing on all of the nails, of course. And then, let's see here. After that is done, I'm going in with my green hand file and do a bit of a shaping. So here, I'm going to show you guys, I'm doing the same thing on both sides. So, okay, let's back it up. So I'm going to take that hand file, put it up against the nail, make sure the whole file is connected, and then I file up and down. But being that the file is shifted, it looked like it's going back and forth, but I'm going up and down. I do the same thing. It's just here I obviously had to turn my hand over. So it's the same thing. Putting the file on one side, hold the other side of the nail, file it up and down. Flip the hand over, hold on to it, and file up and down. And this is how I get my general shaping when it comes to my sets. I do that on every finger. Whichever I do on one finger, I do it on the other. Whatever I do on one side, I do it on the other. Now I'm going to take this little thin wood hand file and get in the side walls. The side walls are where the nail and your skin meet. So I take these little thin ones, get in there, and I'm filing that straight back just to make sure the nail don't look wider than my actual natural nail. If that makes sense. I just want to keep it, I want to make it look narrow, keep it looking narrow, but be careful not to overfile in those sides because it can happen real quick. All right, so here's some tips when I get to my length. I like to put two fingers together, making sure my cuticles on the fingers are lined up next to each other. I do two fingers at a time. And you can see the middle finger is clearly longer than the pointer finger. And so with my hand file, I like to file up, put the nail on the file, go up, and repeat that. Just lift it up every time. I don't just go back and forth. I make sure to lift the nail and start that process again. Now I file my length away like that because if I do it side to side, my nail is bound to come out uneven. And then I'll compare the pointer finger and the ring finger. Same thing, lining up the cuticle and then seeing how much I need to remove. Sometimes I'll line up the pinky. Okay, then I'll do all three of those together. Now, sometimes I'll add the pinky finger in there. Sometimes I don't. A lot of times I don't really care what length the pinky is. Long as those three are all the same length, I'm okay with that. And here I was just showing you how much more I needed to take off from especially that middle finger at that point. But just so the video wasn't long, I finished that off camera. Here's the nails after the filing, the thickness, shape, and everything I was satisfied with. So there they were. Now here are the Betty Boop transfer stickers. I get these from Shop Kiki. She does have a website. She is on Instagram, is where I found her from. But she have a large variety of different styles, themes, holidays, characters. You name it, she got it. And I love that she have stickers for extremely long nails. And so, of course, here we go. We're going to go in with those cute Betty Boop ones. I love the Betty Boop ones. I don't know why I always get so many from her, knowing that I'm not going to do that many Halloween styles, but I do love the quality of her transfer stickers. Now here I'm going to go ahead in with some top coat. Now it was hardly nothing left in this bottle, and so I'm going to go ahead and cut that on out. That way y'all ain't have to watch me struggle getting that top coat on. But I did add the top coat to the ring finger and the middle finger. Here I'm just wiping off the extra off the sides that way I can keep my shape, and then I did give that a 60-second cure. I cut out the transfer foils, I'm sorry, I don't know why I always call them transfer foils. I cut out the transfer stickers, the ones that I wanted to use, and then I'm going to add them to the nails. Now, here's the thing with these stickers. So once you put them on there, before you rub it, definitely look at it from different angles to make sure you like how it is sitting. Because once it's on there, it's on there. You cannot remove it with alcohol or acetone. You have to file the image away. And so make sure you like where you placed it before you rub it. So once I was satisfied for where she was sitting, I'm going to give it a good rub. Sorry guys, I'm a little sick, but I'm going to give it a good rub all over. Definitely making sure I've rubbed the edges because when it's time to peel off the clear film, which you guys will see in a second, sometimes that one little piece may not be rubbed down, so definitely make sure you rub it really good. Now, these little clear plastic toppings or whatever are really hard to get off, and so I do have to use my hands to get them off, and then just give it another rub over to make sure everything is laid down. Again, I top coat first and then put the transfer stickers on top, but you can put the stickers on top and then put your top coat over top of that. I personally just like my top coat to be nice and even. I don't like when stuff underneath of it give that little ridge look, and so I like to do my top coat first. There, I just put a little bit of the Betty Coral Rhinestone glue or gel. Now, usually for rhinestones or charms this size, I would usually use the top coat, but because I had already did the top coat first, the top coat was clearly cured, and so that is why I went in with the rhinestone gel. But again, with something this size, they stick fine for me with just the top coat. Went ahead and made sure I like the position of them. I tend to do my ring finger and middle finger the same anyway. Now, at this point, I felt like something was missing, so I went ahead and got the Wanna Play from off of the Freddy stickers. That's another thing that I love about these stickers is that you can mix and match them however you want to create the set that you desire. And so I took these two off and cut them out. And the reason I'm showing you guys this part because I did kind of cut that out when I did the first part. So I cut those out, put them on there, give it a good little rubber dub dub, and then take and remove that clear film again, and I did that for the pointer and the pinky finger. You can see it's just like a struggle getting them off, but I think that just speaks to the quality of the stickers. Once they are on there, same thing, went ahead and added a little bit of the rhinestone glue and then added the heart drips. Now these heart drips, I did get them from AliExpress like maybe 2 years ago or something. I don't use them that often, but I do think they are super cute. And I think they worked out perfectly for this set, being that it was Halloween and we know Halloween is like gooey. But here's the set once it was finished. Again, any chance I get to use Betty Boop, I am taking it. I love my Betty Boop sets. I love the quality of her Betty Boop stickers. And so here is the set. But thank you guys. I'm going to say thank you guys because the video is almost over. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your love and support. I appreciate y'all comments, especially you guys who give me those detailed comments. I truly love and appreciate you guys. But the video is over, so I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.